Welcome to the People's Candidate Forum. Joining us now is Councilmember Ydanis Rodriguez, candidate for Congress in District 15. Thank you for your interest in representing community. Let's begin. I will start off with a question as an icebreaker. Please share 1 or 2 word intention you hold for today's interview.
Well, commitment and dedication.
Thank you.
Next question is, the South Bronx has been disproportionately impacted by the COVID-19 outbreak. With public health officials forecasting a potential second wave, what will you do if you are hired to respond to this ongoing crisis?
I will invite the 740,000 constituency that I will represent to join a movement to eradicate a systematic racist society that we have built for over 400 years. Well, there's no doubt that we have inherited a society that was built by white male, that women were not allowed to vote, black men was not allowed to vote, immigrants didn't have any rights. So I had learned, at my age of 54, to see everything from the perspective of social class. What I would do is to go to DC, to reduce funding from the military, give those money for the health services, for all the services related to education, housing, to provide the Black and Latino youth the same opportunity that youth in the Upper East Side, on the Upper West Side, or Riverdale, they have to excel in their lives.
Thank you, Council Member. On criminal justice reform and jails, Congressman Jose Serrano has stood with a large contingent of community members who oppose the city's plan to build a new jail in Mont Haven. What is your position on this plan, which would put a new jail on a plot of land already earmarked by the community for an affordable housing development? And what have you done, or what will you do to advance your position on this?
Look, what the voters will have, as they already had the opportunity right now, voting through absentee ballots, and then voting in early election from the 13th to the 23rd, and to the 21st, and then on the 23rd, is someone that they had not met before when it comes to no one in this race had the experience to dedicate 40 years of community activism, fighting for criminal justice reform. My soul being with the first experience, the NYPD in 1989, being arrested when we were at 181st and Nicholas Avenue, using our Fourth Amendment right, and we were told to move, and when I refused to move from 181st, I was told, you don't have any right, F Dominicans. So being represented in 1989 by Center for Constitutional Rights, they took me, they found me no guilty in that case, but then decades after, when I was arrested during the Occupy Wall Street, I won the $25,000 lawsuit because of the arrest that happened on the Occupy Wall Street. I dedicate that money to the same institution who represents me in 1989. That dedication, that persistence, that work, fighting for social justice my whole life is my check guarantee that I have to the voters that they will be identifying who will be the best candidate. I am the only one that can defeat Reverend Diaz at this moment. And if anyone had to see, they only need to look at my performance. Back in February, and I ran for public advocate, I got 27% of the votes.
Can you also comment on what your position on the plan to build a new jail in Mont Haven is?
I will listen and I will follow whatever the grassroots movement want me to do. I was the first one who called to close Rikers Island, but I'm further and tired to see that the Bronx has been used as a dumping ground for shelters, for detention shelters. So when I walk in the Bronx, and I know that from the 740,000 people, I know the demographic of the Bronx.
We're going to move on to the next question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Jessica.
Thank you. We have a quick hitter question for you. Please complete the following sentence. Today, I want to make the world
equal to everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. A public housing question. Residents of NYCHA have been facing deplorable conditions for decades due to federal underfunding. What will you do to fix public housing with less public funding available now than ever because of the current economic crisis?
We shouldn't have less funding. We need to ask the white progressive New Yorkers to fight with us shoulder to shoulder so that we put in, we ask the wealthy New Yorkers, we ask those New Yorkers who live in Secord, in the Upper West Side, in the Upper East Side, in the Secord 10001 to contribute more to the poorest neighborhood. The budget that we will have from the city, the one from the state and the federal level, should be focused on anti-poverty initiative. It means that when we discuss the budget, the brothers and sisters that have been marching with us, who represent wealthy neighborhood, that they don't know what it is to walk every day, to wake up every day. Together with all the Black and Latino children that they don't have good quality education, they should work with us to be sure that the NYCHA became a decent place where that they can live, where someone can be born and raised. But as I said, one of the concrete things that I would do is to be sure that we reduce funding from the military, the funding that we have of $1 trillion, so that we can have more money that we can use for housing, including NYCHA, that we can be sure that the management on NYCHA also, they use the resources that we can allocate it to them, focus on maintenance, focus on repair, so that everyone that lives in NYCHA should have the same opportunity to live in a decent place.
Thank you, Ydanis.
Thank you. Let's talk about affordable housing. Just who is it affordable for? Members of the community in the district have embraced community land trusts and other initiatives to remove property from the speculative real estate market. What specific actions, if any, will you take to ensure affordable housing and ownership is possible for the people in our community?
I believe that building affordable housing has become a business for some people. You know, a lot of people talking about coming in front of a council member, meeting with grassroots movement, and they offer some community benefit. But what they don't share is how much developers' fee are they making when they close any transaction. What I would do is to be sure that we reduce developers' fee so that we can use those money to increase the numbers of affordable housing. What I will do is also that I will work hard to reduce the requirement for developers to have numbers of parking spots, and instead to use those values to improve transportation deserts in the Bronx. I do believe, and that's what I've been working, is to be sure that the major institutions, such as the Yankee Stadium, they need to show the money to the community. I will be asking the Yankee Stadium to contribute 10% of the revenue to use that money to build affordable housing and to create good pay jobs in the surrounding area where the Yankee Stadium is located, and to be sure again that we treat affordable housing as a human rights thing. We need to learn from George Floyd. We need to learn from the coronavirus. Let's call it what it is. Black and Latino are living as segregated as they've been living for decades, and housing, education, and hope is a clear definition when we can see someone who lives in a decent apartment, again, in a wealthy community where the average income is $250,000 compared to those residents who live in a community in the Congressional 15 where the average income is $28,000, being the poorest urban congressional district systematically for the last decade. So that's what I will focus on, building affordable housing for everyone.
Thank you.
In regards to arts and culture, a majority of the creative workforce, artists in all disciplines, are freelancers or seasonal workers. COVID-19 has resulted in a dramatic loss of income. What would you do to help creative workers overcome these challenges?
Well, first of all, I was a teacher for 13 years, and there's two things that can define me in this particular race. I am the only one that not only had compassion for immigrants, but I'm the only one that lived with green card from 83 to 2000, that was one of those New Yorkers residing on the Bronx, you know, that came from Africa, Nigeria, or they came from Latin America. I feel that as a teacher, the other thing that I had that defined me different for the other candidates is that I am the only one that I was in the classroom for 13 years. I have seen how art is one of the first things that we cut in our society. What I have done it, and that's what the resident of the Bronx should know. Yes, I've been representing Northern Manhattan, and I've been focusing supporting the Uptown Fashion Show, the Dominican Film Festival, the Uptown Conservatory that we have here, the Jazz Power. So there's no one group that they work with art and music and education that I have not supported. The same thing that I have done it, supporting art, connecting art with the curriculum in each schools is the same thing that I would do when I had the opportunity with the support of the voters to be the next Congress member of the 15 and to be sure that all workers that they work on non-for-profit, that they work independent of art, they are treated as a full-time employee so that they can have all their benefits.
Thank you. Next question is about small business. Small businesses in the 15th district were already hurting because of rent hikes, the influx of big box stores, and online sales. Now with the latest crises, COVID and looting, they have fallen further behind. What would you do to restart small business and promote entrepreneurship in our district?
The first thing that I would do is to be sure that we treat a small business owner the same or with more respect than when we treat Amazon, that we treat writers. The small business in our city of New York are the ones that create more than 70% of the job. So when we heard that they stay in the city, they was getting ready to give $3 billion to Amazon and no one single dollar to be provided to the small business. That's how one more time we are not showing respect to them. What I have at the council today is a bill, the Small Business Job Survival Act, that I have 29 council members. And the same thing that I aim to approach with this bill, to give fairness, to be sure that when small business sign and negotiate the lease, they also get a lease no more than less than 10 years, and supermarket no more than less than 15. And when the lease expires, we will get rid of extortion. No one will have to give $20,000 under the table to get the new lease. I already have a bill at the council. I will follow. I will work hard to pass this bill here at the council, and I will move a bill in Washington, D.C. to make a federal law, a new fairness on how small businesses sign lease, renew the leases, so that when the lease expires, the new price of that lease shouldn't be subject to what the property owner wants. That it should be subject to the negotiation between the property owner, the business owner, and if they cannot agree, then we will establish arbitration, and then we will bring financial support or 1% loan, real 1%. Nobody's happening right now. The SBS announced that they have all those programs, but when the small business go to the bank, those percentages go on 10 and 15 and 20%. We will bring real dollars with 0 or 1% on loan to the small businesses, and we will hold the business to be marketing. The Bronx can be a great place for marketing.
In the interest of time, we have to move on to the next question. Thank you.
Thank you.
How would you provide teeth to the community-driven solutions that have been articulated over the years by many of the organizations hosting this forum and others you have recently engaged?
I will continue doing what I have done. You know, that's it. I can say that's what the resident of the Bronx, you who are watching me, you will get what you have seen. You will see a congressman with a son absent. You will see a congressman that has been in the classroom for 13 years, chairman of the Social Studies Department. They will see me an immigrant who understands the reality of the resident of Africa, from Mali, from Congo, from Nigeria, from South Africa, from Latin America. 43% of the residents of the Bronx, they've been born and raised in another country. Many of them, they crossed from Washington Heights to the Bronx. And yes, I've been underestimated because people question, can you win based on most of you people that are undocumented or green card holders? First of all, my people are Black, they are Asian, they're white, and they're Latino. Because I have dedicated decades working for the freedom of Nelson Mandela to take the Navy out of vehicles, to improve education, fighting against police brutality, being arrested more than 15 times. So when I walk in the Bronx, what the Bronx told me is about, come back, we got you back, we will vote for you, because my story resonates and connects to the resident of the Bronx.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I have another quick question for you to answer. Please answer yes or no. Do you think drug use in the community in criminal justice is a concern?
It is, yes.
Thank you.
A climate change question. As our representative, how will you make sure that your federal leverage addresses our vulnerability to climate change impacts in the South Bronx?
They don't care our people because of the color of the skin of people who live in the Bronx. When they wanted to put a plan in the one at Riverside State Park. That plan was supposed to go to 72nd along the Hudson River. And the white liberal, they said no. The resident on the Upper West Side, they organized in Upper End and they started the plan. But people were quiet when they brought the plant to the water plant to 145th in Riverside Park. I've been organizing my whole life on climate justice. I lead a group of youth when we march from Osto Community College all the way downtown. But this is not new for me. When I was a teacher, before thinking about running for office, I organized initiative about cleaning a street. And it was more than picking garbage. It was about learning, educating, empowering our people. The marketing that we see on TV or radio, they don't care for the Black and Latino. And that's what I say. As I have seen, and I know that we will see 100,000 of people, so millions of people marching, you know, especially my white liberal progressive, when there's an invasion of the United States in Iraq and other places, I will invite, you know, my white progressive, my middle class, to come to the Bronx, organize with us against the whole contamination that we have because of the Cross Bronx. I will make the trucking association accountable. The Bronx cannot continue being the place where we have seen thousands of trucks contaminating the environment and making that district an area with a high percentage of asthma, obesity, and diabetes. With me, all sectors that we have a fighter.
Thank you, Councilmember. To wrap up our People's Candidate Forum today, how would you articulate a set of planning principles that will guide development that will serve to both preserve and grow the district? And how will you include the community in the adoption of those principles?
I will bring together all sectors. And in my proposal, I will work to eradicate poverty in the Bronx by 2030. I would not be elected. I don't want the voter to support me. In my plan is to be elected and come back every 2 years saying that I represent the poorest congressional district. That will end. We need to put a plan to eradicate poverty by 2030. I will bring all the sectors together. I believe in my idea that we can put together a plan to develop the Bronx, the 15th congressional district, as a district where working class will live with dignity, but with a path to take the children to be middle class. I will bring robotics, I will bring tech, and what I will do is, in my proposal, I feel that we can develop the Bronx, create good pay jobs around technology, health, and making the best Latino food destination in the whole country. And I will work with all the grassroots movement and I will hear from them. What can we do on art? How can we marketing? We have great brothers and sisters. The Bronx is the borough that we have the largest numbers of Africans that they have made as a destination. There's a lot that we can organize with them. They are great entrepreneurs as all of us. We need to support the small business, develop the Bronx, not to benefit the hedge fund, but to benefit the mom and pop store and the grassroots movement.
Thank you.
And just to wrap up, this is a yes or no question. Before today, have you taken a pledge against taking money from big corporations like real estate developers and other special interests? Yes or no?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you for your interest in serving as the next congressperson in District 15. The people of the district will make a decision on June 23rd. Be safe and be well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.